The Cleveland Browns. Mark Sessler, a new season, new hope with Hugh Jackson. They travel to Philly. And this, all of a sudden, I think is a very winnable matchup for the Brownies, who haven't won a season opener in over a decade. But now Carson Wentz, and I don't care what anybody says, I don't like the way they played this. I think this is a guy that is not ready to start football games, and he might struggle badly in week one. So the Browns have a window here. Do you agree with me?
Well, the where I would have an issue with that is that if you're Carson Wentz and you're the Eagles, this is a kind of matchup against any NFL defense from what we've seen over 4 preseason games. You talk about a rookie facing another NFL opponent. That Cleveland's defense is littered with rookies and first and second year players that have very little experience and have not played together. And so, yes, if you're Hugh Jackson, you want nothing more than to face a rookie quarterback who missed the last 3 weeks of the preseason. But I don't think that Cleveland has a distinct advantage because, honestly, at this point, until we see otherwise, they are a bottom 2 or 3 team in the league, talent-wise. And Philadelphia's defense with Jim Schwartz running the show is the story of this game. I think they can shut down Cleveland's run game, and if it's low scoring, that's fine. Philadelphia has more talent. I'd be shocked if they don't win this.
I agree, and we're talking about
shocked.
two franchises.
He's protecting himself.
I am not. Continue, Wes.
Yeah.
Two franchises acquiring draft picks and looking toward the future. I think that's a pretty interesting matchup, and I do agree the Eagles are further along because when you look at that defense, there's so much more talent in Philadelphia than Cleveland.
We don't know what this Browns defense is going to be. On paper, it looks like one of the worst defenses in the league. I am more confident in RG3 and their offense than I am in their defense, which is not a good sign.
I mean,
considering what we've last
their
seen.
Their defense was a bottom 3 defense last year, and they've replaced the few veterans they had with players that have never played in the NFL.
And maybe that's what you should do. Maybe they'll be better. You got Agba starting. I think you're starting 2 rookies at outside linebacker. Joe Schobert.
I like Agba.
Shobi.
Get ready for Joe Schobert.
Yeah, big Shobi fan. You know who's not picking the Browns this week is, I think he works here, Brian Billick. Said he stared at the Browns schedule and doesn't see a win.
Well, I don't think in this room that we like to look at schedules early in the year and go through all that exercise, but he may not be far off. But the Browns are not building for this season. It's down the road. The one thing that kind of, if you're a Cleveland fan and you're scared of something, it's Wentz ripping off 3 touchdowns through the air and running for a 45-yard score.
Sign.
Because it pits everything that they want it to be. There's going to be a lot of hot takes coming out of this game either way.
Well, that's interesting because the Browns essentially told Tony Grossi we didn't see Carson Wentz as a guy who could develop into even a top 20 NFL quarterback.
Wouldn't it be something if Carson Wentz has that week 1 like, oh, by the way, we've been hiding what we have with Carson Wentz this whole time, just like the Redskins were hiding RG3 back in 2012.
Yeah,
you'd
love that.
Dropped a bomb on the Saints.
Doug Peterson hinted at that at Monday's press conference. They've been doing a lot of read option. They've been doing a lot of different fakes, play action, pistol. Who knows?
I would have never thought the Eagles-Browns, by the way, would be one of the most watchable games of Week 1. But this is a fascinating game to me because you just don't know anything of what's going to happen.
Well, let's find out if it's actually watchable before we call it watchable.
You could say that for a lot of these games too. This is a wide open week.
Yeah.
If you're in knockout pools, you're chewing on the old fingernail.
I think Browns fans have about another 48, 50 hours to kind of bask in the glory of the offseason storylines, and then the games begin.
Mark, over, under, Terrell Pryor receiving yards on Sunday, 65.
Under.
All right, Mark, a lot of hope. No believe landed.
I believe in the long-term plan. I don't think that they're asking fans to ask for 10 wins this season.